What's up, guys? Gangsta Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on a piece that comes to us from first let me zoom this in a little bit so that maybe the camera will focus in a little bit better here. I gotta try to get it until I get my other camera. This one's very finicky, but basically I think the reason they're wanting to, and I'm just guessing here, I don't know this for sure, but I think the reason they're wanting to get rid of that bell is because you can see on the top there, it's pretty thin, but they're wanting to take that bell off, put this bell on, so that's what we're going to do. Shouldn't be too crazy, but you never know these days. So at any rate, let's go ahead and grab our cutters here. I would like side cutters, but we may just have to do with these for right now. What we're going to do is we're just going to grab it right at the base there. Right at the base. And try to go ahead and clip it right there. There we go. Got it right at the base. So we went ahead and clipped that. But let's go ahead and, now what we need to do, let me get a bag real quick. Put this bell in a small bag so we don't lose it here. Because I'm sure they'd like to have that back. You never know, they could always use it for something. I don't know why they just didn't leave that bell on there. All they had to do is build the top up on it, and that's still a good bell. But hey, we do what they say, right? There we go. Alright, now let's go back to our piece here. Hold on, I gotta adjust you guys just a hair. There we go. But we got these sharp edges now, so let's go ahead and file that down just a hair. Just a little bit. And we're just using our silicone wheel. To kind of get them rough edges out of there. There we go, that feels good. Alright. Now there's a couple ways we could go about this here. We could attach it there like that. But here's the tricky part. We can't lay it flat like that because then otherwise it's not going to weld straight on there. So what we're going to have to do is we're probably going to try to stick this in the third hand here like that. We're going to turn this sideways like that. Then what we're going to have to do, I usually don't have to break this out very often, but sometimes we do. And that's the this little gizmo here. I don't have to break this out very often, but occasionally we do. Like I said, not very often. So at any rate, let's first of all, I gotta get you guys readjusted here. Let's go ahead and set that like that. And we're going to put that right on the top there. Now, main thing is I got to make sure that it stays straight. Well, try to get that set up like that. Sorry guys, probably going to take a few here to get this thing where I want it. Try to get it right where we want it to be. Actually, we're going to have to approach this a little bit different. Let's turn it this way, because I'd like to come at it from the side instead of the front there. So let's see if we can't flip that around like that. That would be better. That'll make life just a little bit easier. That looks pretty straight, guys. Alright. Yeah, that'll work out a lot better. Let's go ahead and cut us a piece of solder here. Oh, I just bumped it. I gotta make sure it's where it's supposed to be because I just hit it like a dummy. I did, just whacked it in my hand as I was reaching over for the solder there. Okay. Alright guys, now let's go ahead and put us some boric acid denatured alcohol on there. Got you a popsicle stick or something like that. Just something like this that you can dip in your mixture and just dabble it all over the piece. All over the piece. And we're going to be using a 4 tip for this, so we're going to swap out our tip here. Go to a 4. Huh? And let's go ahead and burn that off a little bit. Let that boric acid denatured alcohol burn off there. Alright, we're going to let that sit for a second. Let's go ahead and grab our flux here. Go ahead and put some flux on there. Alright guys. And remember, we're using hard solder. We're not using easy or medium. I would try to start out with hard personally. Use hard on everything. Everything. Prongs, hollow chains, you name it. And I know this is going to be controversial. This is probably going to get the comments all stirred up. Now, I think it was either my last video or the video before, somebody mentioned, you know, well, if you had a laser, that wouldn't be quite as hard. It was like I think it was on the hollow chains or bracelets that I was doing. Here's the thing, I do have a laser. I don't use it, and here's the reason. For one, I would like my money back, for one. Two, what I found, and this is going to be my personal opinion, and I'm sure the comment section will get stirred up about this. I found when I was doing laser, or using the laser to do certain welds, the zap or the shock seems to make the area around it brittle. Like, yeah, so it'd be strong where you weld it, but the area around it becomes very brittle. And I found that the welds, for some reason, I know they say supposedly it's stronger, but I find that a good hard solder weld is better than a laser weld. The laser, for some reason, it makes the area around it brittle, and I find that it breaks easier, not necessarily in the spot where you welded it, but it'll break like right next to it. And then you fix that spot with the laser, and then the spot right next to it breaks. And it just keeps going down the line. So, yeah, I invested a lot of money into a laser, and I'd actually kind of like my money back, personally. Because all it's done is sit there and be like a rock. And also, if you're not, unless you're doing like a lot of costume jewelry, or like welding glasses, fixing glasses, or maybe something like that, the cost isn't even worth it. I mean, you're going to find there's very little that you can do with a laser that you can't do with a torch and solder, you know. So, but here again, my personal opinion, I know some people are going to get riled up about that, and I'm sure they're going to let me know, which is fine. You know, there's no right or wrong way, you know. It's going to be personal opinion, you know, and unfortunately, as many of y'all know, it's in the eye of the beholder, you know. So sometimes you can fix a piece and it looks to you, it looks phenomenal. But to the next person, as soon as they get it, they're not happy with it. And you're like, well, why are you not happy with it? It looks flawless. But to them, there's something wrong. And don't take offense to that. That doesn't mean that you did bad work. It just means there's something they see that they would like to be, that you might have thought it was perfect, but to them it wasn't. Not a big deal. Don't take offense to it. I think jewelers take a lot of offense to that when they do something. They're like, man, that was really good work. And then somebody critiques it or says, hey, this isn't right, that's not right, or they don't like this. It's in the eye of the beholder, unfortunately. So you got to keep an open mind in this game. Don't be closed-minded, because you're going to get, you're going to have a repair, you're like, man, the thing looks flawless. But to the next person, or whoever has the piece, they might not like it, And that's fine. Just figure out what it is they don't like and make that happen. So it's not a big deal. Case in point, I'll go through this and then we'll get this welded. But a couple videos back, I did a set of white gold rings. I sized a set of white gold rings from a 9 to 6. And I think I even titled it that they came back the next day. But, sized them, took them back. And then I got a call next afternoon, probably about 2, that I guess one of the stones had come out of the ring. Which is weird, because I sized it, I checked the stones, and he ran it through the ultrasound. Which you guys know, if you got any loose stones, they're coming out in the ultrasound for sure. And everything was good to go, everything was tight. But somehow, some way, this lady managed to lose a stone out of one of the rings. So they called me up, and I went back, picked it up, set the stone, checked them all again. I didn't charge them. I'm not going to charge them. Because I just dropped it off. It's only been a day. I'm not going to charge for something like that. Even though it might not be my fault. And there's no telling what could happen. It could have just... It's really weird. There's no telling. Maybe she could have dropped the ring. It hit the ground. Sometimes that shock force will cause a stone to come out. There's no telling. But I went ahead and fixed it for him. I didn't charge him. Like I said, it was the very next day. If anything, but things like that are going to happen, man. And don't be too concerned about it. Things, if you get a call back or something comes up, you just go grab it, fix it. Not a big deal. Don't make a big fuss about it. I know a lot of jewelers get offended when they get callbacks. Like, oh, my work is good. There's no reason this shit came in. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, I've seen some weird stuff happen, man. As a matter of fact, one more story and then we'll get into welding this thing. Back when I had my own physical store, I had a guy that literally, he brought me a necklace in. It was broken 2 places. Went ahead and fixed it for him. He dropped my solder. He literally walked out the door. He bent down for some reason. Like when he was going to grab the door handle, he bent down and he got the necklace caught on the door handle as he was pulling it up. And he lifted his body up and ripped his chain completely apart in 3 places. Just walked out the door. He came back in. He's like, man... He's like, it just, and I understand. He didn't want to have to pay for it again. He's like, man, I just walked outside and it fell apart. I was like, dude, I was sitting there watching you the whole time, man. It got caught on your door handle. And he's like, yeah, I know, man. He's like, is this going to cost me again? I went in and fixed it for him. I didn't charge him. I know it was just, he literally just picked it up and just walked out the door. Even though it wasn't my fault, I went ahead and fixed it for him. I didn't charge him, Things like that are going to happen, man. I don't care how long you've been doing this. You could be doing it for 5 years or 30 years. You're going to have some weird stuff happen. That's out of your control, you know. And don't get upset about it. Just correct the situation and keep going, you know. But I know some jewelers that get very offended and get an attitude when they get a call back. Um, there's no reason to get offended. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing bad work. It just means either the customer isn't happy with what you thought was look good and doesn't look good to them, or some weird accident, freak accident happened. Alright guys, let's see if we can't get this bad boy welded. Enough of me rambling and talking. Did that move on me? I hope not. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep you in focus here best I can. This camera is such a piece of crap sometimes. Hold on, let me see if I can. There we go. Might be in focus now. Is that moving on me? Yeah, it moved on me, didn't it? Dang it. I had a feeling it did. Sorry guys, we gotta reposition this again. There we go. Let's grab our solder again because it fell off after I moved the piece. Alright, still looks pretty good. Oh, we dropped our solder again, guys. Come on, get on there. Sorry guys, I'm trying my best to keep you in focus. Come on, get on there. Get off the pick. Still straight. I need a little bit more fire, guys. Just a little bit. Try to get the camera back in focus here too. Come on, get back in focus. Come on, back in focus. God, this camera sucks so bad. Maybe if I come out and then come in. There we go. Sorry guys, trying to keep you in focus there. Almost got it. I just gotta get it a little bit more fire. Trying to not use too much flame because this is a little bit of a delicate piece. Nothing too crazy, but it's always better to be on the safe side. And met my UPS lady that used to deliver stuff to our store when I had it open over down there on the west side. And she says she got some repairs for me. Hadn't seen her in a while, man. I tried to catch up with her, but I finally ran into her in one of the stores I was picking up. As a matter of fact, it was this piece I was picking up, and ran into her there. She's like, man, I got a bunch of stuff. Gave her, nice folks at the store wrote my number down for her. And hopefully she'll be giving me a call soon. I don't know what, this thing's being a little stubborn, guys. We gotta get some more flame. I'm being a little too extra conservative here because it does not want to flow. Does not want to flow. There, it flowed now. Alright. Let's take a look, make sure that went all the way through. Let me zoom you guys out a little bit here. Alright. Let's see if... Now we darn sure don't want to touch this. Don't want to touch that because that's going to be super hot. So let's go ahead and open that up. I'm going to turn around here, dip this in the water because I had my water thing behind me for something else yesterday. Well, we are a tad bit crooked, but that's not a big issue because you can bend it this direction, but you don't want to be off. So it doesn't matter if you're off this way, you can bend it back and forth this way, but you don't want to be off going this way, because then if you try to bend it, then you're going to bend the charm back and forth. So that's not a real big issue. But we got us a nice solid weld there. We do. Alright. Let's see, let's look for our pliers. There's a particular kind, there they are. Let's say there's a particular kind I'm looking for. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to hold that, and we're just going to bend up a little bit. There we go, guys. We have got us there we go. We have got us a bell on there, guys. Alright. Now what we need to do is try to clean it up a little bit. Let me go ahead and turn my torch off here. And we can do away with this hand. Put that back in the drawer. And then we're just going to take our silicone wheel, try to clean this up a hair. And trying to hit the sides of it a little bit. Alright guys, looks pretty darn good if you guys ask me. Pretty darn good. Alright, now before we go to the buffer to take care of the bell and polish the rest of it up, we need to put a kind of like a brush wheel, if that's what you want to call it, onto our shaft here. And we need to polish down around the base of the bell where we can't really reach with a regular buffer. So we need to go ahead and do that real quick. And just get you a little bit of rouge on your brush. Hold on, I see this still isn't really focusing in too well, so let's see if we go to like 2.2 maybe. See what that does. There we go, that looks a little better. I'm going to find the intricate workings of this camera before it's over with, but by the time I do, I'll probably have my other camera back. At least that's the hope. Alright guys, if I can get this thing to focus back in, there we go, maybe, there we go. So we kind of got that base polished up. What I'm going to do is drop this into ultrasound, and then I'm going to go polish the whole thing up, and then we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back with that charm. As you can see, we got it, I got my fingerprints all over it. We got it nice, cleaned, and polished. Got it looking good, guys. It's a pretty nice little charm. That turned out real nice. Look at that sparkle. Dang. Looks good, y'all. But this was a fairly non-complicated, other than the solder not really wanting to flow for us there for a bit. But that was fairly simple, non-complicated repair there. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. If you would like to subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, I'll have the links for that down in the description, although it's not required. Just helps the channel grow, show some love. Also, if you're looking to buy jewelry in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if not there, if you're looking to buy jewelry online, I highly recommend Stellar Jewelry, which I'll have the link for that down in the description. Also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop. I'll have the link for that down in the description. And if you'd like to check out my Kick and TikTok live stream, I'll have the link for that down in the description. That's more of a gaming and reaction type streams though. So I'll have the links for those down there. And then other than that, guys, I think that about covers everything. But I appreciate my loyal subscribers. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you think about them laser welders. I'm sure we're going to have some controversy on that, but I gave my opinion on it. I'm not a... Like I said, I kind of want my money back. If I could get it back, I would. But anyway, guys, this is Gangster Jeweler. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Robert Hunter. Shout out to Henry, Mike. Another new Mike. I guess there's a Ty. Shout out to Ty if he watches these. Shout out to... I don't want to forget anybody. Steve. Shout out to Steve. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but I'm trying to hit everybody that I can remember here. But I appreciate you guys watching. This is Gangster Jeweler, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, y'all.